Hi everyone, this is Alex Gosse, social media team lead for Craft Resin, and I'm here to bring you new ideas and new ways for using your craft resin and tips and tricks to make sure you get the best of your product. I'll be showing you today how to dust a mold with color shift, and I added a little bit of fun to the bottom because when you have a bottom that you're not going to see from the top, I always like to try a new technique on it. I'm using a color shift mica that I got from Amazon, and I'll have this and all the links to the products that I used in the description below. Please feel free to reach out to us on social media if you find any of the ideas that we use helpful, and if you have any things you want to show us what you're crafting. We love to know what you guys are working on. So I want to make sure and get this mold dusted really well. I don't want there to be any part of it where the silicone doesn't have color shift on it. And I also want it to go down into the sides. So I start with the visible part, and then I have a healthy dose of mica on my brush, and then I go around all of the edges, and it's really important to make sure you get all the way in the edges. And it's also important when you're done to be sure and turn your mold over and tap it so that all of the excess mica will come out before you do your pour. I have prepared my craft resin, equal ratio 1:1 measured by volume, and I've started with it being pretty warm. I'm in Texas, so that's pretty easy. And I like it to be at least 95 degrees before I introduce A to B, and then I like it to be about 105 before I pour it into my mold. So I'm adding in a glitter that has a very fine consistency, and I wanted to make sure and get a really good mix on it to make sure that there aren't any particles that are dry. It's really important when adding mica or glitter that you want to make sure that there aren't any separate particles. I'm also adding in just a little bit of black acrylic paint. I really like the level of opacity that offers, and I think it really made this fun galaxy color that I really liked. When I do this technique, I also like to add in just a bit of black alcohol ink. I use Pinata, and I feel like that gives a really pretty depth of color, and I really like the way that works. You can also add in silicone with alcohol ink and acrylic paint and get a cool marble effect. And I did want a bit of a marble effect today with the gold, so I'm adding silicone in this too. It turned out most of the time when you're doing a mold like this and then you do a metallic color, it turned out the metallic color was all going to float to the top, which then means it wasn't going to be on the bottom. I forgot that it works that way when I did it, and I realized it towards the end that, oh yeah, all the gold is going to float to the top, so you probably won't even see any of it when you demold it, which was totally fine. I got the effect that I wanted with the color shift, which was really the main thing. You know, I just can't help but experiment. Everything I do is some level of an experiment, and what then turned out was because the gold was so pretty and floated to the top, I decided to do an additional experiment with what is the bottom, or what will be the bottom when I demold it, which is the top right this minute. Some days words are harder than others. It is important with any mold like this where there's a lot of places that air can get trapped to make sure that you only put in just a little bit of your resin to start, and then you do a good squish, squish, squish all the way around the edges. This one has a ton of little pockets, so it was really important. I didn't want there to be an air pocket to ruin the end piece, and so I squished all the way around the edges, and then I added in more resin to go ahead and fill it up, because while you're squishing, you don't want the resin to overflow. So this is where I decided that I would go ahead and do an additional experiment on the bottom, because I was pretty sure that the color shift on top and then the black underneath it was gonna make it so that you really couldn't see anything else that was happening. And this is a perfect opportunity to try something new. So I had a new product that I had been working on, and I thought it would be fun to see how it reacted to the gold alcohol ink that I make myself. I thank you so much for spending your precious time with me today. Please let us know if you have any questions about any of the products that we use or how you can get any of the products that we sell. If you have any questions, please do leave a question or a like, comment, share. Everything that you do lets us know that you appreciate the content that we're putting out, and it helps us do more. So this new product did turn out pretty fun, and I'm glad that I tried something new on the bottom, even though nobody's ever going to see it. It's just a really fun little opportunity to try something new. I am in love with how this piece turned out, and I will definitely be making more of these and more YouTube tutorials like this. So please be sure and tune in so that you don't miss a thing.